Welcome to Cardboard Box. Today we're going to look at Beast Hunters Huffer. Beast Hunters was a subline of Transformers Prime. For much of this subline, they took existing toys and retooled them with extra jib-jabby bits to turn them into weaponized armored vehicles. It gives the line a distinctive post-apocalyptic look, very Mad Max style. His truck mode sports hood-mounted guns, armored windows, roof blades, and an aggressive-looking plow thingy welded to the front. It's safe to say this truck isn't street legal. This 2013 toy was a repaint of Beast Hunter's Trail Cutter, which itself was a retool from Transformers Prime Ironhide. Here is Huffer next to the one from G1, here he is next to the Botcom one, here he is next to the Power Core one, here he is next to the Combiner Wars one, here he is next to another Cyberverse Commander class truck, Optimus Prime. You can really see how small he is next to a deluxe-sized Ironhide, and a Voyager-sized Motormaster. To start the transformation, flip up the guns. Untab the roof and the doors about this far. Pull out the legs. Rotate out the feet and toes. If the arms are at a correct angle, you can swivel the chest 180 degrees. Hinge down the arms. Fold down the guns. And rotate the arm wheels. And he's done. Well, sort of. You're also supposed to fold up his arm panels. But I think that looks stupid, so I'm not doing it. Yes, those arms look idiotic like this as well, but just not as bad. I have a third solution that I think looks even better, but we'll get to that later. This Huffer is just a lazy repaint of a much cooler looking Trail Cutter. I mean, come on, black looks much more intimidating in the apocalypse than yellow-orange. Well, at least Huffer is a lot more aggressive looking than Ironhide. Here he is next to Huffer from the 80s, complexity versus simplicity. Here he is next to the Botcom one, pointy versus round. Here he is next to the Power Core one, spindly versus solid. Here he is next to the Combiner Wars one, beastly versus heroic. Here he is next to Optimus Prime. These two are actually in the same Cyberverse Commander size and play pattern category. Here he is next to Deluxe Ironhide. Huffer looks tiny compared to him. And Motormaster. Not all truck bots are created equal. Moving on to articulation. Shoulder guns can hinge up and down on a transformation joint. Arms can rotate on a ball jointed stem. It kind of feels weird and needs to be at a certain angle. The stem is attached to a transformation hinge under the guns. Often, this causes the guns to get bumped out of place while you manipulate the shoulder or arms. The panels on the forearms are supposed to fold up, but I don't like them. A hinge under the shoulder allows the arms to raise up this far. Forearms can flex about 90 degrees on a ball jointed elbow, and can rotate 360 degrees. Now, I can't stand these bulky arm panels. They are held down with little friction nubs, so let's just remove them. There. I think that looks much better. What do you think? Is he better without the weird Wolverine claws? Those arm wheels can also be easily removed if you like. They are only held on by C-clips. They don't bother me, so I'm going to leave them on. His ball jointed hips allow him to do a fairly big spread. He can kick forward this far, and back this far. His knee can bend 90 degrees in either direction. Surprisingly, he has an ankle pivot. And toe tilt. That's pretty amazing for a toy this size, especially one from 2013. Without those spiky arm things, Huffer here is going to need some weapons. He comes with two pieces, a purple club and a purple spiky claw thing. They can peg into his hands or the 3mm ports on his arms. Since he's a beast hunter, he uses them to hunt beasts. If only there was a beast around here somewhere. Oh, here one comes now.
Fangry, Fangry, Fangry.
How convenient.
Fangry. Fangry.
Yeah, so like I said, the pointy thing can be attached to the side of his arm or to his hand. And the club is not really a club. It's really a missile, and the pointy thing is its launcher. Let's see how the Road Shark missile launcher looks in truck mode. It pegs into the 3mm port on the hood. It can also peg into the door.
Fangry, Fangry, Fangry.
Oh goody! Fangry is back for more. Let's see the missile launcher in action.
Fangry? Fangry. Fangry.
Well, that was kind of sad. The Road Shark friction-based missile launcher is a bit of a dud. Huffer can also attach either of these weapons to ports in the bed of his truck. He could use them to fire backwards, or maybe it could be one of those antennas for remote-controlled cars. Thanks, little one. Huffer is a fun little bot that has no good reason to exist, yet he does. He's just a repaint of a retool of another toy, none of which even appeared in the Transformers Prime animated series. Although I enjoy the character designs from the Prime series, I'm generally not a fan of the wacky vehicle retoolings that they did for Beast Hunters. Sort of reminds me of that time when they had Ninja Turtles and started putting them in these bizarre, crazy costumes, for no good reason. I didn't want Astronaut Raph, or Raccoon Hat Raph, or Sewer Cycling Raph. I wanted Raphael. Likewise, I wasn't particularly looking for a Road Warrior version of Huffer. He has a clever transformation, but it's awkward to get right, because of parts bumping into each other when you try to rotate the chest. That part is very frustrating, and those clearance issues ruin an otherwise fun transformation. His forearms are quite kibbly, and when you transform them correctly, they look like hot garbage. The amount of articulation on this bot is amazing for something so small. That being said, there is something about moving the arms and shoulders that feels like I'm fighting against the toy. Parts bump into other parts, and the shoulders don't move in the way I expect them to. He's not a bad toy. He's probably even a good toy, but he's not the Huffer that I'm looking for. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Like my vids? Buy me a coffee. It's easy. Visit coffee.com/cardboardbots.